Yeah, I'm back again. Today we're going to talk about space travel. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, so let's talk about why we are just throwing money away again. I read the articles about this new space telescope, and I watched all the stuff about the Mars rover and a bunch of other stuff that's happening. So let's talk about space travel in its true and accurate context. Space travel does nothing for anyone. It's purely a marketing gimmick to make you love America. If you don't already love it, then yeah, the space travel is designed, it's a marketing plot. If you ever watch one of those movies where, what was it that they make up the moon shot and everything, and this is why one reason why people believe the moon landing is fake, and we'll talk about it just in a second. But let's start with how much this stuff costs, and since all of the companies involved in the space program are looking out for their bottom end, and they basically want their money back for investing in the space program. How do they do that? How do they get that money back? Because if you shoot a rocket off to Mars, it's not like the guy, the Major Tom, is gonna pick up a cache of gold or diamonds or plutonium or helium or helium-2 and bring it back, and they're going to get their return on investments off sales and usage of energy resources that we need here on Earth. Okay, the truth of the matter is these companies don't have to get their money back because their profit has already been built into the actual cost of them delivering the specialized systems in order to make the space program work. This is why companies like SpaceX, Jeff Bezos, Elon, this is why these companies exist, because they know they get free money if they design a system that just pretty much rolls. It's a car that rolls without an engine, a drivetrain, or even a destination. They don't care. They know that if they spend $10 billion, that the government's going to give them $25 billion. And that's their profit. So where are we now with this new space telescope? And this goes out to you, Mr. Neil DeGrassi Tyson, because two things that always bug me about you is that you, on one hand, you say that you're religious, on the other hand, you're a cosmologist. And okay, now I want to ask you, what is the benefit to mankind from this space telescope that we just launched? Where's the benefit to mankind, even make it a smaller group? Where's the benefit to the United States for this space telescope, besides looking at pretty pictures through a camera lens? Are we going to discover some new form of energy, or have we found something that we need to get a closer look at, and so we can try and bring it back to Earth and use it? Is this billion-dollar expenditure going to give some return to the people that pay it? If you say yes, because the typical answer, and I know the answer that you will give, Mr. Tyson, is that, yeah, we learn so much more about our universe and the space around us. And my question to you is, why do we need to learn more about the space and the galaxies around us? The normal lifespan of a human being is well below 150 years. It would take 150 years to get any spacecraft to leave Earth and get outside the solar system, and then they would not be able to come back. It would have to be a generational ship. You'd have to have people on board that are willing to not just be guinea pigs. They would have to be rabbits. They have to, or maybe guinea pigs. Guinea pigs produce pretty quickly. You have to have one to know what I'm talking about. When you send this amount of cash to Mars, the Mars rover, what was the purpose of the Mars rover? To say that Mars is a big dust ball and there's nothing on it, or there used to be life on there, okay? And I want to ask you, where's the benefit of this knowledge? Even if we found life on Mars, what's the benefit of it? Is there any benefit that comes to the first generation, this generation, the next generation, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the 10th? Is anybody ever going to see any return from us launching a big wad of cash off into the troposphere and then landing back on Earth? No. Is anybody going to see any return on investment from the moon landing? John F. Kennedy talked the entire world into believing that landing on the moon was the most spectacular thing that the United States could ever do, and we've never been back there since. It was a giant grift. So never tell me that the Democratic Party, that leadership in the Democratic Party, are not as bad a set of grifters as the Republicans are. He talked the entire world, even Russia, into believing that going to the moon was going to cost $63 million, and it was going to be as cheap as we can get it, and it was going to make the United States a better place. Well, aside from assorted small things that could have happened right here on Earth without having a space program, things like Teflon and stuff like that, we could have invented these things on our own without launching a rocket to the moon. There was nothing in the space launch or the landing of the moon and putting a flag on the moon. It was beneficial to anyone of my generation which watched it happen. I watched it happen in school, and my children, or the next generation. There was never anything that came from the moon landing then, or now, or in the future. And now we're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Hubble telescope, now this new telescope, all these great space launches and everything else. Now, explain to me, Mr. Tyson, why this over-exuberance and flamboyance with the world's money is beneficial to the world itself. And I don't think you can answer that. But I await your answer. I close my eyes, if only for a moment, and the moment's gone. I lay my head, all my dreams pass me by.